We are back with Get in the Game. I'm your host, David Hill, part of HSPN Sports. And in episode 3 with Coach DeChon Burns, the head football coach at Linfield Christian High School out in Temecula, California. Beautiful place. I wanted to kind of give you a insight on what we're doing in episode 3. This is going to be a long one. I hope you'll hang in there with us. We go for about a good 30 minutes. And then we're going to have one more episode, episode 4, which we will put out in just a few days. But in this episode, I wanted to put out this caveat to have you really pay close attention to the incredible experiences and stories that Coach Burns has had and what he talks about, particularly when it comes to specific areas of recruiting. He's been at the NFL level, so when you talk recruiting, you're talking about, vetting draft prospects. So you've got to understand what kind of person you're dealing with when you're about ready to sign him to a multi-million-dollar contract. Not much different on the college side. There's a lot at stake. You're talking about, perhaps $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year, depending on what school it is, and you're doing some of the same vetting. And we'll talk a little bit about those things and what it takes for a college coach to vet a high school prospect and the connection that has to happen along with the head high school coach. I think it's fascinating what Coach Burns talks about. It's also fascinating to hear what happens in transition from college, say, for example, to the NFL and what they're using to help vet future draft prospects. So this is a good one, folks. You won't be disappointed listening in for 30 minutes or come in, come out, whatever you want to do. But we're glad you're with us for Get in the Game, episode 3 with Coach DeChon Burns.
So, that said, there's probably nothing left to talk about except for the future. And it seems to me that the future looks spectacular for you guys there. And when I think about the future, Coach, and let's talk about this a little bit. I know at the beginning of the show, we talked about, being from Inland Empire, Rubidoux, Riverside, that area, so many talented players out of the Inland Empire. And when I think about this, and you may have something to say about it too, when I think about this, I think about, my God, if you took collectively the talent that comes out of the Inland Empire, you could field many college programs across the country, which has happened. You could field NFL rosters with some of the kids that's happened. But one of the things I see happening really bothers me is that a lot of the kids getting picked off out of the Inland Empire and they end up being wooed by other schools. I won't mention them, but there aren't but a handful of them that do it. How do you combat that a little bit, or how do you confront that, and how do you deal with that when confronted with that situation? Because I know you probably had to deal with it before. Do you have anything? Is there anything that you do special or say that might be convincing otherwise?
No, I just tell people to do their research, right?
Yeah.
I think I can speak from a place of experience, having been at every level, and I don't toot my horn or jump on my own, hotels and talk about it. But there's poachers out there, and it really bothers me. I'm a big believer in cultivate your talent, develop your talent. Now, if a kid and you have nothing to do with it, then so be it, right? But going out and lurking in the parks and promising things and getting kids come over because they think that it's that they're marrying a perception, or they're marrying a logo, or they're marrying this unit, right? And the reality is, and you and I both know, we've been around, Dave. If you can play, they'll find you.
No question. We just talked about two of them. Trey Brown, your son too. It's not like they had a gazillion stars. These are good football players.
Right. No, Trey
made impacts at their institutions.
Here's crazy. Trey was a 3-star, then he commits to Washington State and he becomes a 4-star. Okay.
Oh, wait. You stop on that dime right there. Let's stop right there. I want to talk about that. You mean to tell me he had 3 stars after he committed to after he committed, did he make some kind of improvement as a football player when he went from 3 to 4 stars?
Oh, we had won the championship and everything. He was done in December. So,
okay.
Committed, and all of a sudden, and they kind of laughed at it because we had Ben Coleman
Yeah.
who was on our team that didn't play, and he had 38 offers and didn't play his senior year. You know, he had a little injury and didn't play. And so, I mean, from Florida, Nebraska, Iowa State, you know, UCF. I mean, they had them all. Look them up. There's no making up there on 24. All that stuff, right? We don't see stars, but committed. Trey commits, and he's a 4-star. And Trey was like, "Coach, you know, check this out. I commit, and I'm a 4-star." And they're laughing. JJ Taylor had 3 offers. Now, JJ didn't play for me, but he grew up with Lorenzo and they're buddies. But JJ
I remember JJ. Yeah,
he's a 3-star athlete.
Yeah,
out of Corona Centennial, and phenomenal. The male running back of the year, the male offensive player of the year, running back of the year of California State. 3 offers: Montana State, Northern Arizona, and Arizona. He's just a 3-year All Pac-12 guy, 2-time All-American, and he's with the Patriots. Just played Sunday with the Patriots at 5'6", 200 pounds, 5'7", 200 pounds, right?
Yes.
Ty was a 2-star, 3-star guy. Ben was a 3-star guy. Mike Brown was I don't even know if Mike had any stars. Brad Whitworth at UCLA, was off that same team, on Trey's team. He was a 2-star guy. He's at UCLA. Bad guys.
So
when the poaching happens, it kind of gets under my skin. We don't promise. I'm not doing that. There's nobody that's worth my word or my program. I don't care how good you are. You're not worth it. I'm not going to make empty promises or you're going to play. I'm not picking anybody up. We're not buying meals. We're just not doing that stuff. And teach his own, but this is just, we're not going to walk in those waters, right? And we're going to coach. We're going to develop. If you want to play, come get developed, so be it. Do your research. That's what I tell most people. Just do your research. Just look over the past. Look. You talk about kids don't get out, not true. You got to do your research. Nobody gets, visibility in smaller schools and divisions. The reality is divisions don't matter. They don't matter. They don't matter. Ben had everybody on campus. Trey, Lorenzo, Mike, Ty. There was a kid by the name of Dallas House. I think Dallas was around about 2012. Dallas had everybody on campus. He ended up going to Portland State. But I remember one week, SC was on campus. UCLA was the next day. Nebraska was the next day. Boise State was the next day. Watching the kid play. So it's not like you don't get exposure. That's not true. It's, of course, you got to do your research. You got to do your research. And if you do that, then I think you'll start finding out some interesting facts about the places that you're looking to go to, right?
Right.
I sent you a little something, I think, on text.
I want to share that. I don't know if I'll get it up here or not, but
it was kind of like a fun fact. I was talking to Coach Coleman, my old line coach, and we're just talking about kids coming through. And that 61 seniors come through the program.
Between 2013 and 2018, 61 seniors come through the program, right? 61 seniors, and we're talking
35 who went off to play college football.
That are playing college football. That's just unbelievable.
Offer, some type of financial assistance. Full ride, partial ride, but and it's not Linfield's a D1 factory or this and that. That's not what we're talking. I'll never promise that. Having been there, David, I've seen some pretty crazy things in the war room. I've seen some pretty crazy things on draft day. I've seen a guy be draftable and it's something, you find something out and the guy gets off the board. I've seen a guy in 0 hour where, you're going to offer a kid over here and all of a sudden this other kid commits and that kid commits and all of a sudden, boom, you're down to your third. Your third is just good as your first, but you just want this guy first.
More. That was the first choice. Let me ask you something right now. Talk about this drafting situation and the war room. Have you ever seen or have you ever witnessed a guy come off a board like you were high on him and something along the lines of you find out something along the lines of work ethic, maybe character, something like that that goes on and you just you know what, we got to drop it. Does that happen? Is that real? Because you want to think, okay, sometimes at the NFL level it's about money and a guy can play, we can brush this aside. Does that happen? Does a guy disappear from the draft board because of something funky that went on with regards to, say, work ethic, character, those types of things?
Almost definitely. You have, Coach Dungy wrote a book. Tony Dungy wrote a book. It was Uncommon. Okay, I think it was uncommon.
Yes. Yes.
Might be the first one. And he talked about DNDC, do not draft due to character. And so there are programs that look, they do their research. Like I said, Green Bay sent some stuff out. And it was a questionnaire. And it asked some many questions. Oakland
Coach, I have something. Yeah, I thought that was unbelievable. I'm trying to find that piece that you had. I grabbed it from the LA Raiders. I'm going to find it. Mm-hmm. And it was a letter that I think it was amazing. And I, of course, can't find it now. I wonder if you have it in front of you.
Actually,
the Green Bay letter.
I delivered it.
Here we go. No, here we go.
Yep.
Here we go. Now I want you. I don't know if this is the one you got, but I remember.
No, that was another coach that posted that. But I got the same thing concerning.
You did get the same thing.
It's the same thing. I got the same thing concerning Lorenzo, right? And so those are legit. That's the same.
I look at that. I swear to you, I look at that. I'm saying, man, they just want, they're filling up a piece of paper. They probably they want to see this guy. Can he run? Can he make plays? Can he fit in our system? Do they really pay attention? Because I'm looking at this. I'm like, was he on time for class, team meetings, practice? Did he work hard on the field? Wait a minute. You had one addressed to you as the head football coach at Linfield Christian High School. You're having to go back and report on things that they did in high school, whether they did these things well or not. They're paying attention to this. I thought that was phenomenal.
Well, this is what it means, David.
Uh-huh.
That's money.
Yeah.
You can't be on time, you'll be fine. You can't be on time, you're not learning. If you're not learning, you're not playing efficiently. If you're not playing efficiently, you're jeopardizing my well-being and the organization. So you can't be on time, that means you may miss the bus. You missed the bus and we're late. We'll never be late to the hotel or to a place. Right? We won't be late. Right. So you may not make the plane. So there's a discipline issue, right?
Yes.
Yes. When I was at Texas Southern, I was the pro liaison at Texas Southern, and I had some questions in regards to, can a young man handle money? Because you go from making nothing in college to $10, $15, $20,000 a week. What will happen when we put some money in his pocket?
Yes.
Does he know how to manage his money?
Yes.
These are real questions that I've had to answer. I'm like, whoa, wow, right? So these matter. I mean, these matter. Is he on time to meet? Guys not on time to meet. What about off season? Does he work?
Yes.
Does he work hard on the field? Like, does he work on? You see the questions are circled. What type of coach?
Coach, here's the crazy thing. You've seen our stealth rating. I think we've done a couple on the athletes. We've dealt with those questions. It's part of the assessment, which is part of the rating. I think you hit your mic, Coach.
Yeah, sorry about that.
There you go. Yeah, that's part of the rating. So I find that phenomenal because we're talking about the kid in high school as he's preparing for college. I'm looking at this. This is from the NFL Las Vegas Raiders going back and asking about where this guy was and how he did in those areas while he's in high school, which is exactly what stealth deals with. Would there be? Are you saying there's value to what a stealth rated athlete was in high school, and would that be of interest to an NFL team? It sounds like to me, based on this.
Definitely, because you got to know about character. Once again, do not draft due to character. Like I was in the combine.
Do not draft due to character. Tony,
I was in the combine, and I won't mention any names, but I had to interview a guy, a D-lineman, and he was pretty highly touted out of the SEC. Mm-hmm. Came to the meeting, had a little attitude, like act like he didn't want to be there, and he had to be there. He requested to interview him, and give him a little attitude. And I'm like, wait a minute, like it's not gonna fly. Like I'm a potential employer, and you got a little dirt in your neck. Yeah. Well, it's okay. I don't want you. If this is how you're gonna act, I don't want to deal with if I got to deal with this right now, and you haven't signed anything, so you think you're God's gift.
Yes.
I can only imagine what happens when we put a comma in a different place for you. So therefore, I don't feel like putting a comma there. You're not going to get my vote to put the comma anywhere by your name.
Not going to do it.
Now, guess what? You got to sit here while I get ready to talk to somebody that might take your spot. Because your name's going to come up on the board. The guy is going to, and he did get drafted, but it was kind of a shot in the pan, right? Like it didn't work out for him because there were some things that kept surfacing with him. There was another young man who was on the board, and he kind of had he was a Pac-12 guy. I was Pac-10 at the time, yeah. So he had some stuff going for him, pretty good. And on the day of the draft, ESPN flew this story, and it put him in a place where there was a couple violent acts, and there was some gunshots, and somebody got shot, and this and that and the other.
Yeah.
And I remember being on the treadmill, and I'm downstairs on the treadmill, you know, and I look up and I see the person they're interviewing, and I'm going, that name seems real familiar, real familiar. Come to find out, when I was coaching at Bishop Amat High School, I coached basketball as well. This kid, or this young man that they were interviewing, played basketball at a high school that we coached against. And I remember the guy. The guy had some stuff in his neck. The guy hung around little gangs and kind of was getting bigger and this and that. I remember asking the coach, I was like, who is this kid? And he was like, well, that's such and such, and phenomenal athlete, but he's a gangster. He's a knucklehead. I remember this kid. So I saw the name. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That is so-and-so.
Yeah.
And they're interviewing him in a certain part of Southern California. I'm like, hey, that's really so-and-so. Like, and
you knew for sure. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if he hangs around him, and then they went over to this place, and there was some stuff that jumped off, and it was kind of somebody got shot.
Yeah.
And that means this is his posse, this is his crew.
Yeah.
This is his crew or his posse.
Yeah.
And that means when some money gets in this guy's pocket, that's who's going to be around the facilities.
Yes.
If these guys are around the facilities and in the locker rooms, guys, you know, everybody's got $100,000.
Yeah.
And they wear it differently, right? So some guys lock lockers, some guys don't lock lockers. Some guys let jewelry hang out, some guys put it away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's to say that, Dave, you're not part of my entourage and you got to come get my keys to go turn my sprinklers on. You got to get my keys out the locker room. Yeah. You don't sweep through, right? Yeah. And get a few pockets on the way out, and all of a sudden you got to catch a plane flight back. So, you know, that came up. And so people recognized it, like, whoa. And so the web, you know, began to weave and unwove, and you know how that goes. And next thing you know, as you dug deeper, you found out Joker shouldn't have been in that part of town hanging with these cats, because if you're over there, it means you're looking for something. And so there'll be no reason for you to go over here unless you had an issue. So if you went over here, that means you were looking for some heat, right? You were looking for it as a kid.
You were trying to.
So the smoke happened, and so people had to fall back. Like, so character is a big.
It's got to be a big deal. I can't imagine you overlook that. Too much money involved.
Right. There may be some that get through, and you're like, and maybe we can work with it. Maybe it's a different situation, but people do their due diligence. I remember coaching at the place I coached at, and when I'm going down to go see a kid, you know, I'm asking, you know, hey, where's Johnny at? Or he's down there at the field house or coach's office. And so you go to the front office, and somebody's got to take you down to the coach's office. Normally it's a TA, right?
Yes.
Or they point you in that direction. So I remember multiple times asking little Sally as we're walking, hey, do you know so-and-so?
Yes.
Oh, I sure do. And bam. And so the story begins, right? So I get all the heat I need to know, because what I'm going to get from the high school coach, great kid, player, and he might be, but, you know, obviously the coach wants to get the kid out.
Yeah.
But I got to get the scoop, or I might be looking for the deal, and I see the janitor. Yeah. They keep putting me in the direction of football field. Oh, yeah. And so if they've seen me, they've probably seen 10 or 11 other schools, right?
Sure.
And they know what's going on. So who you looking for? I'm trying to follow you. You're looking for so-and-so, huh? Yeah. What about so-and-so? Oh, man, you should see his locker. Or that kid's never in class. Or that kid's a good kid.
Oh,
so really
right. Let me ask you this. As you've been on that side, on the recruiting side, on the college side, if you had at least and I'm kind of guiding you down this path, but if you had an objective assessment came through, and you could see that assessment as it equated to this quote unquote star system, which is what stealth. I'm wondering, as a college coach, would it give you enough information to say, okay, at a certain threshold, I know if this guy is rated at, say, 2.8 and above, I know he's trending well in a few areas. We may have a solid character guy. We may have a solid work ethic guy. We may have a good but not great academic guy. But I think I can begin to at least start to pursue this and vet this a little bit. Is something like that helpful? Objective, knowing that this would be a good way for me to start and filter out the good from the bad. Would that be helpful?
In this day and age, most definitely.
Yeah.
In this day and age where portal is live and hot,
yes, sir.
Kids can leave. Somebody's on the hook for offering a kid $40,000 to $50,000, and it doesn't pan out, and the kid APR gets affected. When you get behind those walls, and people get asking, where's he at? Why is he leaving? What's going on? Who recruited him?
Yeah. Oh,
guy? Did you not do your research? Did you not know he was like this? What's the deal? He can't handle this. Man, that's putting me in the hot seat.
Yeah.
I like where I live. I like where I work. I like waking up in the morning. I like my family knowing that they can still stay here. So if you help me do that and get the right type of kids to help me get the right type of student athlete in the program where we all prosper. For me, I care about the kids first and foremost. So I want a kid to make it, right?
Yes.
I don't want a kid to make it at my cost, at the expense of me.
Right.
I want a kid to make it because he's equally vested, right? So I can know that if I jump on the table and say yes, I know I'm gonna hold my breath and be like, "Come on, bet on the come." Like, "Come on, man, please, I need you." I need you. So based on the information I get from reliable and credible sources, I can take this and say, you know what? They did a battery of tests and questions, and this is what it comes back here. Here's this algorithm. Here's my gut instinct. I'd have been on the campus half a dozen times. Put it together. Does this match this?
You would end up marrying the two together, right? See it and read it, and then go verify it, right? Let me flip this up over on its back. As a high school head coach, you've got this young man in front of you, and you're going through an assessment of him, because here's the connection. And does this still work, Coach Burns? College coach is seeking this prospect. Is he going to seek and verify this with the high school head coach? Is that still viable? It is, isn't it? I'm not crazy, right?
I tell you how many phone calls I take daily.
Yeah.
I make, and you see me kind of in action.
Yes.
We talk.
Yeah. And I know I'm doing this. I'm baiting you.
Right.
I want our audience to understand, from the man who sits in that position, talking about the kids that have gone on, 60 some seniors, and half of them, 30 of them have gone on to colleges. You've dealt with this. So what is happening from the college coach? What is he looking for besides, physical ability, physical attributes? What else is he looking for?
I'm tell you this. All the schools that came and talked to me about Trey, Ben, Brad, Lorenzo, nobody asked me how much they bench pressed. Nobody asked me how much they power cleaned or they squatted. They want to know some intangibles. They want to know if he was tough.
Sure.
If he could go to class.
Sure.
Could he be coached hard? How did he take instruction? How did he take adversity? What did he do in the midst of adversity? The general question was, give me an example of his most difficult moment and how did he overcome it? From high school, college, to the pros. I can't lie because these guys, I know these guys, and I've been in those shoes. If I lie, that dude has a U-Haul in front of his house and he's moving. I can't look at his face. David, I told you to offer our guy, and that guy was a clown. You offered him. He went up there. He didn't change his nose, right? He didn't change his wig. He still had the clown wig. He still had the Paso shoes. He went up there and had the same outfit on. Did the same thing. Now you're on the hook, and you're looking back at me like, man, you told me to get this guy, and you didn't talk about how he don't like to listen. You didn't talk about how he talks back. Oh, you forgot to mention that. Well, no, we didn't did this. So it paints a deal of either you're allowing this kid to get away with murder because he's really good and they become somebody else's headache, or you're telling the truth and then look, this is what now if you still want to dibble dabble,
that's your business.
What he is, and I'm never here to kill a kid's career or kill a kid's future. Forget the career part, his future, right? There is no career, obviously you get into college, but I'm not here to kill a future, but I cannot lie. David, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a dude. Yeah, get it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he'll be on time. Oh, sure, he won't talk back. I'd much rather bait the question down and kind of, hey, you don't have to work with him. Well, what do you mean, coach? Well, some stuff, you got some stuff in his neck. What do you feel like investing?
Yes.
Because we've all been there, and coaches can have those real discussions.
Yes.
I'll appreciate you for being real with me. Okay, look,
Yes.
coach, you got to be on him. You got to be on a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, how much is a little bit? Well, you got to get on him. So if you spend the first, couple meetings and you let him know there's some structure, the kid does well with structure. If you're in a place where he I don't think he can be off campus for the first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That says enough to you.
Right.
Like, okay, all right, we'll go with it, but he's gonna be in the dorms. There's not an option.
There's no option to that.
As you do your research,
Yeah.
then you begin to talk and find out. I mean, I've done it when I was a recruiter and I coached. There was a kid that I really loved, and he was at a powerhouse out here, and I sat in a home meeting, and I told the kid, look, if I get one report that you cutting up at home with your mother and father,
yes,
I'm pulling the offer. If I get one report that you're cutting up in class, I'm pulling the offer. That's it. Like,
okay.
You got it.
So they need to know that. I think there's this mystical, mystifying feeling. But that offer, you see the kids, they put it up on Twitter and all this stuff. I got my first offer. Praise God, I got an offer. This, and it comes over and over and over again. You see that, but they don't realize that the offer could be, it's nothing, right? It's just, it's like pixie dust. That thing could be pulled. Right.
You do something. A lot of guys, listen to DeChon. People think DeChon talks out of his nose. DeChon speaks a lot of truth. Prime time challenge. He's been doing a lot on social media. Piles, whatever, the dude down in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Laugh at him, but he says some serious stuff. People are watching your social media.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad you mentioned that.
They are watching.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
They are trash on there. You like trash.
Yeah.
And you like hanging around trash.
Yeah.
We don't want trash. We don't want dirty, right? Your friends, your friend group, the stuff that you post and you think is pretty cool, the music that you have on your highlight film, the music you might have in your background when you're doing something.
Sure.
That's if it's full with the F-bomb and suck this and do that and do this.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah. Then we pass, right? It's almost like these silly dating sites. Tinder, swipe left. You may swipe left, left, right?
You got to a point where coach was like, hey, turn the highlight film, but turn the music off. Like, we don't even want to hear the sound. We just want to see it. We don't want to see it. And then, or back when you had the answering machine, be able to get a kid and you try to get their answer. Yeah, hey, I'm so grateful for this and that. So you talk to them on campus. Yeah. Outstanding young man.
Yeah.
Go leave a message. Yo, this is T Money Fresh. Holla at your boy. Let me know if you're a female. Drop them digits. Such and such and such.
Coach, you came up with that. You came up with that T Money Fresh a little bit too quick. You didn't have that. That wasn't yours.
No. It's like C4, baby. It's like C4. Like my man C4. T, right? They're out there.
That's terrible. I know that's terrible. It's terrible.
There's nobody directing them to tell them, hey, no. This isn't business because you're not market. Like at the end of the day, you're not marketable. Right, like if your aspirations are to do something outside of this, let's say you want to play in the league. I don't know, but what you are doing is you're building your network, right? You're building your brand. So school finishes, you're making connections, you're getting classmates, you're making business friends, the whole deal. If you got junk to your name, nobody's looking to get into any business ventures with you. No. That guy's he got some stuff to him. Yeah, we're gonna pass. Yeah. Why are you passing on me? Look, man, do you recognize that your Twitter is full of trash?
Yeah. And it matters.
That's $200,000 with this. Yeah. It matters.
Yeah, it does matter.
The little things matter. The little things matter. They matter a lot.
Yeah, and that connection between high school head coach. I want folks to understand that connection between high school head coach and college coach. College recruiter is still very, very significant.
David, I'll interject. There's a lot of sources out there where kids can get offers, okay? And they get offered by this and they get offered by that. At the end of the day, the university is going to have to go to the campus and get a transcript. They're
Sure.
going to see some people.
Sure.
I know for a fact it didn't happen on my campus, but I know that there was a certain school that was out here recruiting on their way to offer a kid.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to go offer this kid up the way and come and offer 2 of our kids. So it was like, you got your schedule. You got to go. You're a coach. Hey, look, I got 8 schools to hit today, and they're in North County, San Diego. They're in, Ranch Cucamonga, Fontana, Orange County, and then Temecula. I got to get there, and I got to be back because we have a recruiting call, or I got to get back on the plane and fly back because we're going to play, right? Whatever. Yeah. So on his way, I'm on the phone. Hey, you come by. Look, I changed my plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get there. I'll be at your place by lunch. I'm going to get there, catch this kid at 10 o'clock. Boom, boom, boom. Get the offer. I got a height weight. I'm not height weighting, but I got size him up. Make sure it is what it is. We offer. We're having a conversation. Just a general conversation. Yeah, man, like the kid, blah, 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 blah. A couple things got to get answered, and I'll be down your way, and then we'll make it happen. I got to talk to your kids and okay, man, I'll see whatever. I just need to know. Yeah. Maybe 30 minutes into it. Hey, are you around? Yeah, I'm around. I'm on my way. What time out? What happened? I got up there. The kid wasn't in school, had transferred.
Oh.
That withdrew from school, and nobody knew. Wow. I went to offer the kid. The kid withdrew from school. Nobody knew. I'm not going. There's no reason for him to withdraw. I'm not dealing with this. I'm down to your place. He missed out.
Okay.
Red flag, right? Red flag.
Done. Right.
Wow. Okay, you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'll see you in 40. Oh, okay. So I'll see.
Wow. Wow.
I got a list of 5. I'm gonna offer this one first, and if he is not right, then I'll just number 2. I got 4 scholarships. I offer 5 people. The first 4 to take them, right? I'll go with any of the 5.
Yeah.
I just need 4 of you. The first 4 that take them, I'm good. We can win in my system or my mindset. What we've done.
Yes.
I can win with any one of you.
Yes.
So if you want to play the late freight, and I'm seeing, well, that's,
it's a gamble. Yeah, it's a terrible way to gamble your life away. Yeah.
I get it, but it's a thin line. So it's best to be transparent and open and have the right character, and because that it's a turnoff. And you've heard the term handlers.
Oh, there's a lot of that. Yeah, of course. It's a terrible thing that's going on. The handlers are out there. Yes.
So those handlers don't know how Johnny is from 7:30 to 3 because they're not around him.
Right.
Johnny on the weekends at the tournaments. They're around him at 7 o'clock. They don't know that Johnny skips class, or they don't know that Johnny sits in the front and is really studious and does well. They don't know he's in the Honor Society. No. They don't know that he has $300 community service. They don't know that he has a foundation where he helps homeless kids. Like they don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So eventually, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, the stabs I've been around, I could not walk back into my recruiting coordinator or my head coach or the provost or the AD, and they asked me, you know the head coach? Have you talked to the head coach? And if I was to say no, I'd be fired on the spot.
Right.
Did you talk to the head coach about? But no, I ended up talking to his cousin's uncle's friend who coaches him and has known him since 6th grade. He says he's a good kid. Oh, you didn't talk to the coach? No, he wasn't. Did you try to call him? Well, I left him 2 or 3 months, but you didn't talk to the man who runs the program? So how does he operate for the program? They say he's good. Who's they? Well, the cousins, brothers, sisters. Well, pack your stuff and find you a new job.
It would be just like that.
I've seen it, and I'm not adding on. I'm not exaggerating.
No. You've been there. You've been there and seen it. Yeah. So therefore, if something of the nature of a form comes in, it's laid out. The questions are point blank. For example, a question would come in: does Johnny work in the off season? Does he work? Does he put in extra work in the off season? And the question is yes or no. If you don't feel that way, you're comfortable with saying no.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. In that vein.
If I don't feel like, and I'll see it, and I know for a fact he's not, I'm not damaging the kid.
No.
Right. But then you have to be mindful, because there are some out there that despise kids training, right? If it's not,
Sure.
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I don't provide it, but I get mad if you go get it.
Right.
So if you get
you're playing both. You're trying to play on both
right,
sides.
if you go outside to get it, but I don't offer
Right.
it, I'm mad that you're going to get it, but I don't offer it, right? So
Right.
sometimes guys get a little upset about, well, it's training over here, and so it might be hateful. But if you're being honest and truly about the kids, then the reality is, look, yeah, he works. He works in the offseason. I know he works.
That's why that question is point blank.
Yes.
You don't get to expand on, yeah, but he doesn't work with my program. Blah, blah. You don't get to do that. That's why it says objective. It's either does he work and train hard in the off season, you get to answer yes or no. But the head coach should be the one to verify that, correct? Yeah, because ultimately he's got to answer for that.
Right. Well, there's a reason. I mean, I don't know if the NFL is sending the questionnaires to the head coach.
Yeah. Right. Because that letter, when I saw you post that, and folks, listen to this. When you posted that on Twitter, I believe it was directly sent to you. It didn't say Lorenzo's dad. You're the head coach there. It came directly to the head football coach of Linfield Christian High School. You. Right.
And what else happens is, as guys are in the area recruiting, you know what they ask?
Yes.
Who else in the area? Who else do you know? What do you know about this kid from School X?
Yeah.
You ever dealt with him? You ever coached against him? You ever seen him play? What do you know about him?
Okay. So they're cross-recruiting. They are cross-referencing.
I got to hit the area. I got my docket. I have 50 schools on my docket, and I got 5 days to do this. And I'm leaving Friday at 3. Yeah. I touch down Sunday night. I got to get these 50 schools. I got to be on a plane Friday at 3 o'clock. Yeah. I got to get these 50 schools.
1, 2, 3 and